Hey everybody, it is Sara Oehler here at the home of Softflex Company in beautiful Sonoma County. It's a gorgeous June day outside. If you've ever been to wine country, you know this area is just fantastic. In the summer, you can see all the beautiful green vines that are growing over the hills of Sonoma. So it's just a really beautiful day here. Lots of bright sunshine. So today we're going to be doing a Softflex Live Design Challenge. And if you've ever been with me for one of those before, you know I'm going to open a box. Today it's from our friends at Eclectica. I'm going to open this box. It's full of some beading goodies that they put together. I don't know what's in the box, but I'm going to open it and we're going to make something today using some parts or pieces that they sent to me. So if you've never encountered Eclectica before, they've been around for a very long time. You can find their website, and I have it actually posted on my board, so you'll be able to see it most of the show, but it's eclecticabeads.com. They will be here today. I talked with one of them this morning, one of the owners, Tony, and he planned to be here. So we'll get to ask them some questions and get to know them a little bit better. But I've known them for a very long time and am excited to share them with you because I think they're a fantastic company located in Wisconsin. They do have a brick and mortar store, but they have a fantastic online store as well, and it looks like they've joined us. So there is a link right there to their website, and that is the best place to really get to know them and find out more about the products that I'm going to show you today, and hopefully Tony can link to some of that too, so if something catches your eye, you can go try buying that item from them. Hey everybody, so nice to see all of you. I feel like I haven't done a design challenge in like a zillion years because it's been such a busy month. So I'm super excited for today. And I'm just gonna flip you down and we're gonna get moving. Fast pace today. Okay, let me get it organized here. You're just a little bobbly today for some reason. Okay, let's just move that down. And so yeah, the company that we're hosting today is called Eclectica. Try to say that 10 times in a row. Eclectica, Eclectica, Eclectica. It's a tongue twister. And this is their website where you'll be able to find all the goodies and things that I'm showing you today. So Eclectica and I go way back. We used to do a show at the Roadway in Tucson when I first started with Softflex. We did this show for many, many years in a tent, and one of those big Tucson tents, and Eclectica was just a few booths down from us for like a zillion years. And hi Irina, hi Tony, I'm so glad you guys are here. And that particular show went on, I think, for 3 weeks. So you got to know all of your neighbors really well because it was just like the longest show ever. And it was a lot of fun because there were a lot of different kinds of people there. But man, it was a long, long show. Okay, so we've got a letter here. I'm just going to read it real fast. It says, "Hi Sara, thank you for offering to use some of our products for the Facebook Live Challenge. I've selected various strands of our vintage reproduction beads and a vintage Swarovski flower component, which can be found on our website. And that is www.eclecticabeads.com. These beads are made with vintage glass cane, vintage molds for a true vintage feel. Best regards, Irina at Eclectica Beads." And they are located again in Brookfield, Wisconsin. Ooh, look at the pretty package. Pretty, pretty. And they're located in the Galleria West Shopping Center in Brookfield, Wisconsin. Irina, one of the owners, is the author of 10 books on jewelry design, maybe more. She hasn't updated her website. There's a ton of books by Irina, and then, you know, as well as being the owner of Eclectica and if you've ever been to Bead and Button, they have a huge presence at Bead and Button the entire time. So they're kind of hard to miss. And they carry a lot of different products. It's a traditional bead store, so you're gonna find, you know, all of your stringing products like soft flex and crimps and findings, and then lots of really beautiful specialty beads that they have chosen to carry. Ooh, look at these, you guys. This is beautiful. So this is about their bead studio in Wisconsin, where you can actually do parties and classes and all sorts of fun things. And then this is about their online business, and it looks like you can find them on Facebook. So we'll have to post that link too, so that you can like them on Facebook as well. Beads from around the world, retail and wholesale, for those of you that do wholesale too. Okay, so let's start unpackaging some of these beauties. I have something caught on me. Okay, I got it up. Wow. You guys, look at those. Aren't those to die for? Those are like candy. Look at that. Those are really, really pretty. Ooh, this flower shape. I mean, I guess that would be like a sort of a tulip. Really pretty colors. It's sort of a red center with a light gray blue on the outside. Such a pretty color. Get a really good look at those. So this is some of the kind of things that you'll find on the Eclectica website if you visit it. But they have lots and lots and lots of stuff, you guys. So not just limited to vintage glass and crystal. They have lots and lots of things. So you can spend hours on their website looking at all the different products that they carry. Isn't that gorgeous? So if you look at the back, it's got a variety of loops that you can connect from. So you could make it into a pendant with a dangle, or you could do a bracelet and have multiple strands come off of it, or just a single strand. That gives you a lot of options, which is pretty cool. Ooh, this light pink color is just captivating. That's definitely been like the color of the year for me when I see somebody wearing this beautiful sort of light salmon-y kind of a pink. Really pretty. This is just, like I said, Stacy, this is just a smidging of what they carry. So you're gonna have to go check out their website to see all the different cool options that they have online. Yeah, champagne pink, I love that color. Beautiful leaves. And these are, the holes are going through the stem of the leaf, the top. Hi, Kathy. My good friend Kathy. Okay, so we got another light pink flower. Kathy was the big winner of a big competition at Bead and Button. So congratulations to my beautiful friend Kathy Cizik. And then we've got some little leaves to match the big leaves. Ooh-wee. Pretty cool. And then let's see what's in this little findings package. We've got a little bit of chain. A little bit of chain. We've got some head pins, and they aren't just like your regular run-of-the-mill head pin. They're a decent weight, and then they have cute little balls on the end, which I love. Really cool. And then some open jump rings in case we need to connect something. And we've got a toggle clasp. So Irina and Tony, I haven't looked really closely at your website in a while, but I assume you carry a huge supply of findings. Ooh, look at how cool this chain is. It's multiple chains connected every so often. That's cool. Look at how nice that looks with my bracelets today. Very cool. I like that. It's like watching me open Christmas presents. This would be my kind of Christmas, let me tell you. This is a little toggle clasp, or not toggle clasp, a lobster clasp. So it just slides open like this and it has a cute little heart design on it. Yeah, they're one of your local bead stores, right, Kathy? You're in Wisconsin. And then we've got some beautiful flower posts, and they have a loop at the bottom for you to dangle. So Eclectica says our vintage reproduction beads are made in Germany from vintage molds and vintage two-tone glass. They really are special. They definitely are. The clasp is really cute. I think these earrings are like pretty adorable too. Aren't they? I love them. So perfect for summer. Okay, so we got a good selection of stuff here. We have to decide what it is we're gonna make today. I definitely think we gotta use this thing because this is just gorgeous. And I think it would make a fantastic centerpiece for sure. So we're gonna use some of that. And we'll need a clasp, so maybe that clasp. We got some chain. I'm gonna cut open. I definitely love these ones, so I definitely want to use some of those. What color soft flex do you guys think I should use with this mixture? I could go with something like on a softer tone. Like I could pick something to intermix, like a tanzanite would probably look really pretty. Let me look and see what I have on hand here. I've got my garnet and I've got some pink tourmaline. That's a nice color. And I feel like the tanzanite would be kind of a fun contrasting color with the pink, just to like kind of pull it all together with the purples on the ends. But what do you guys think? Which color do you want? And I'll just kind of look at what you say and then decide here. I see a blue, a spinel, a pink. Tanzanite was my first thought, but that garnet is also nice. Yeah, the garnet's very pretty. It would be darker, so this would probably be a little more summery, whereas this would be maybe a little more fall because it is a little bit darker. Really pretty. Yeah, maybe we should braid all three colors and see what that's like. We could do, some strands up with beads and then do a braid in the back and try all three colors together and see how they turn out. Sometimes when you mix the colors together, they look gorgeous and totally different than they do just on their own. So that might be kind of fun to try. Let me see. Let's get ourselves going here. So I'm gonna undo some of these beads so that we can start playing around with them. Push them into this. If we put them into this one, we'll be able to see them a little bit better. And I love all of these beads. It's hard to choose. So so hard to choose. Yeah, these colors are definitely different than this color though, so we got to keep that in mind, that we got to be pulling this color in a little bit more. Maybe the leaves would help do that for it to all look nice together here. Some leaves, and some big leaves. I know, an instant bead tray. Isn't that nice? If you've got old Softflex spools, don't dispose of them. I mean, you can use it when the wire's in them too, but if you've got old ones, you just keep them around and use them as bead trays. Quick and easy way to organize your beads. Okay, so for the bottom, I think I'm just gonna use one color, and I'll probably go with the pink tourmaline, which I think goes a little bit more. The tourmaline's actually pretty close in color to this little pendant down here, so that's kind of nice. I want to get Eclectica's name back up in here. All of the beads, if you've just joined us here, are from eclecticabeads.com. You can find them there, as well as some Softflex products too. Okay, so on the pendant, I think I'm going to attach on one side here and one side here for the necklace portion, and then we can decide if we want to dangle something from the bottom after. So trying to decide, I'm going to attach, let's do that, and then I can decide how much wire I want to keep here. Okay, so I'm getting out my crimps. This is my crimp case. For this diameter of wire, which is our medium Softflex, I'm going to use a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube. I'm using Softflex crimp tubes as always because they're a lot thicker and stronger than many of the crimp tubes that are on the market, and it's very important to have a good quality crimp tube or your design can very easily come apart, because this little guy here does a big job in jewelry designing to make sure everything stays together. So I have my crimp tube on the wire. I'm going to go ahead and string through any of the holes here. Just find one that'll work. I might even have to pop that out just a little bit. Let me get my chain nose plier here. It's flush down on the, I have shapes. It's flush down on the crystal, so I'm just gonna pop up. Hopefully I don't break this. See if I can just pop this up just a little bit. And on the other side too, just a little bit, so I can get the wire through it. You want to be really careful anytime you're bending metal. You want to be really careful because it does snap sometimes, especially on a part like this. You don't want to bend it so far that it ends up snapping and breaking, but you can definitely bend it a little bit. So I'm thinking I might do these two at the top, or I might do wider. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so let's get our wire through here. Now that we've bent it, can we get it through? Yeah, there it goes. And I'm using the pink tourmaline color. So I strung it through my little hole, and I'm going to go back in again to my crimp. And then just sort of cinch it down. You don't need to cinch anything really tight with Softflex, just leave a little bit of room for it to sort of wiggle around. That'll give your jewelry design a little bit more flexibility. Even though the wire shows, especially when it's like this, it's actually going to be behind the crystal. when you wear it. So you won't even see this part. But even so, the color matches so nicely to the crystal that I think it actually looks quite lovely even if you did see it. I believe the pendant is crystal. These are from Eclectica. Mike Sherman is the owner of Softlex Company. Most of you that do our live sales have met him in the past. And you can see he joins us on some of our live videos too. But I think these are crystal, Mike. They came from Irina at Eclectica. Okay, so I'm gonna take my crimping pliers. These are our magical crimping pliers. They have a little divot on either side that is identical, and when I close them down, it creates sort of a dome shape that fits this 2x2 millimeter crimp tube just perfectly. So I straightened out my wires inside my crimp tube so they're side by side, and now I have my crimp tube dead center inside my crimping plier, and I'm going to go ahead and compress. The first time I compress, it's going to create what looks like a little square ravioli. That's how I know I've done it correctly. If you only get little corners on one side and the other side is still kind of open, then you have shifted. You're not in the center of the crimping plier, and you need to start over because you have to get the first step right for this to really work really well. So you need to practice getting it into the very center of those pliers. I'm going to turn my crimp tube on its side into my pliers, and now I'm going to compress in the four corners of the crimp tube. And then the inventor suggests going around it, just around and around, just spinning and going around it 5 or 6 times, just sort of making sure that the edge of that crimp tube has really cinched down into the nylon coating of the wire. And that's what's going to give you a really strong hold, and you can actually really tug on this and not worry about it coming apart. And we're going to go ahead and trim using our cutters. Flat side to the crimp tube. You can get in nice and close and snip. And we've got our first connection. So what I was trying to decide was how I want to do this, because I'd like to braid up the back with all 3 colors, but the pink tourmaline is going to come around the whole way. So I want to make sure I have enough pink tourmaline. And I think we'll do kind of a short necklace. It's just going to braid up I'm just going to cut a pretty long length, and we'll see how much we end up using here. Okay, so we've got one side going, and now we can start kind of working with our beads to see how we want to put this together. I'm going to look and see if I have a seed bead that's kind of complementary to these colors. That might help sort of bring it all around here. I had a tanzanite seed bead, that would be perfect. Most of my seed beads are at home, not here in the office, so that's always tricky. Yeah, I'm not seeing like a great color, maybe a gray, just to give me something to space things out when I want to. You can find the crystal flowers from Eclectica, and maybe they can post a link to the actual flower on their website. It is beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I assume it probably comes in other colors. Is that right, Irina? Okay, so let's do a little quick stringing here. We're just going to do a fairly simple pattern, I think. I'm thinking about starting one of these tulip guys. And I love these. This is probably my favorite bead that she sent today. I think these are so pretty. Like the facets on the sides are gorgeous. I definitely want one of those. This would be kind of fun to... This is how I do most of my designing. I just go for it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, you start over, right? It's easy. You don't have to, doesn't have to be hard unless you make it hard. Yeah. Just in case I want to add in, I'm thinking I might want to do a few of these little leaves, maybe a couple seed beads and a big leaf. And the biggest thing I think with creating as an adult, and I have 2 toddlers, is we don't give ourselves license to fail, and understand that it is okay to make something that's not great, because you learn a lot along the way and you take that into your next design. So I today give all of you license to fail, and I hope that you will do that for yourself. I'm gonna do just one more little one. We'll kind of regroup and see where we're at. Might be a little too busy, but let's just take a look. So I'm thinking, just for those of you that have just joined me, I'm going to at some point crimp up here, and I think this color might be off, but I'm going to crimp up here, and I'm going to add in 2 more colors. I'm going to add in the tanzanite and the garnet, and we're going to braid that up the back side to some sort of clasp. Possibly this toggle clasp, or we have a really cute little lobster clasp. This little guy would be great. All of the products I'm using today are from Eclectica Beads, and you can find them on their website right here. So I feel like, do you guys feel like this color is throwing it off because it is such a different pink than the others? Or do you think that I should just go with it and let it be what it is? Jenny says, I've had a number of epic fails. Yeah, me too. I do them live on camera though, so that adds like a whole other element. Hey Sharon, nice to see you. Don't use angel weaves wings that match. These ones up here, is that what you're thinking? Swap these out. That's kind of a neat idea. We can try that. Are these the angel wings? I think that's what you meant. Pop of color on the other side. That's true. Yeah. You're so good at the asymmetrical, Kathy. That has never been my forte. It's definitely something I could work on for sure. Who out there is good at asymmetrical? Any of you? Kathy used to be the editor of Bead Style magazine, and she had tons of great designs in there, and I feel like you're a master at asymmetrical. Oh, I like this. Yeah, I think this was a good suggestion, Stacy. That's pretty. Well, the garnet is going to be in later because I'm going to braid it in. Oh, I like that so much better. Yeah, I think this color is just a little bit too different than the others, so it just wasn't marrying really well. Kathy says, I think I'm hardwired for asymmetrical because I'm always a bit off kilter. Jenny says she's unbalanced. Oh boy. Well, we're all in good company then, right? Yeah, Mike is fantastic at asymmetrical. Yeah, definitely. Just I can do it, but I'm not like really good at it, and not enough that I would probably choose to do it live on a TV show on Facebook. But maybe, you never know. You never know. So I'm just using a little size. I think these are size 11 Toho seed beads in a gray. Sometimes I do this just to break up the beads a little bit. It helps you to be able to see each bead a little bit more clearly when you have something small in between them. So that's why I'm doing that. Yeah, I have permission to fail. That's true. That's so true. Yeah. We're all working on that, aren't we? Maybe the leaves would look better on the bottom, closer to the flower. And then this would look better on the top, closer to where I'm ending it. Let's try that one more time. So this is, for those of you that are following along, this is where I'm at now, but I'm going to flip it so that the leaves are actually closer to the flower, and the other design is, I'm going to feed up a couple seed bead and a little leaf. And I'll just keep trying things till I feel satisfied. I'm happy with what we're doing. I'm going to do a couple more little size 11s and a big leaf. The beads are really pretty. Eclectica has a great selection of beads, and I hope you will go check them out after this video and see all the great stuff that they have. And I miss seeing them for a length of time in Tucson. Like I said at the beginning, we used to be just down the road from each other at the roadway for 3 weeks every year. Now I just get to see them on occasion here and there. Oh, thanks, Dawn. Thanks for joining us. I've started and restarted a couple times now to get where I am. We'll see how it all works out here. I'm going to do one more little leaf here at the top, and then we're going to go into that other pattern that we had on the other side and see what that looks like, if I feel more satisfied. Isn't it fun how the color of wire can play such an important role in the design too? Especially when we expose it up the back side, you'll really see how it can make a big difference in how something looks. I think I want to face this one down like a bead cap. There we go. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling a lot better about this. What do you guys think? Do you like the leaves on the bottom, or did you like them better on the top? I'm curious to know how this will kind of lay. Looks like it'll be sort of like random where the little leaves fall and how they fall. Pretty. I like it. Rochelle says, yes, the wire color can definitely make a big difference. Kimberly says, yes, the beads are gorgeous. Love the colorway for sure. Treva liked it next to the flower. So you like the leaves next to the flower, or you liked these angel wings next to the flower? Bottom, just love it. Awesome. Okay, well, I think it could go either way very easily. I think it looks pretty good to me though. Looks like an upscale down, an upside down single rose. Nice. I love what you have going on the garnet soft flex. Well, this is pink tourmaline, but I am gonna add in, this is the garnet. And you can kind of see the difference here. The pink tourmaline's a little bit lighter. The garnet is really beautiful. It's very dark and luscious. And then we're gonna add in some tanzanite as well, and we're gonna just braid up the back side of this necklace. So to add in 2 more colors of soft flex, I'm gonna take some wire off my spools and let me clip this so I got a fresh piece. I've got my tanzanite and my garnet, and then I've got my pink tourmaline. I'm gonna take a 2x2 crimp tube, soft flex crimp tube, string it onto my pink tourmaline wire so it comes down to my beads. And then I'm gonna take both of these wires and I'm gonna string them inside the crimp tube too. 3 pieces of 019 soft flex will fit through a 2x2 soft flex crimp tube. So this is a great way to add wire. If you want to do more than one color, you would just add your lengths of wire, and then I'm going to crimp down next to these beads, but I can cut off these 2 tails of wire, and then I'll have 3 wires that I can braid with. So again, you don't want to crimp so tight that the beads don't have any ability to move. You want to get this close. Let me get my tanzanite wire through here a little better. You want to get this close down to the beads, but not so tight that it can't move around. I'm going to take my magical crimpers, slide that crimp tube in the center, make sure it's where I want it to be on the wire before I crimp, because once you crimp, you can't go back. Go ahead and compress. I know the input is so valuable, Stacy. That's so true. Okay, so if you've done it right the first time, like I said before, you'll get what looks like a little square. You turn it on its side and compress again. These tools are just the handiest little tools to have if you expose the jewelry wire, the beading wire, soft flex beading wire in your design, because they just make it so easy to connect. And now all I have to do is trim off my extra wire. So I'm just gonna slide in, being very careful. You always want to look and see, are those the wires I want to trim before you cut? Because every once in a while you'll get the wrong wire in there. Okay, so there you go. Now we've got 3 wires coming out of the top of here, and they're all kind of complementary colors to what we've done down here. And I'm gonna go ahead and braid those. So to do that, I was wondering if I have a macrame board. But doesn't look like I have one in here for some reason. Well, what I would normally do, and what makes life so much easier, is I would slide this into a macrame board. And the reason I do that is just because it gives something for it to hold on to, and it just makes it just a little bit easier. But you can totally do it this old-fashioned way too. So I'm going to measure my wires the same length as the pink tourmaline. So I'm using a really long length because this is a new design that I've never made before, but you could definitely use a shorter length of wire once you've decided, what length you want your design to be. So I'm going to go ahead and braid just like I would braid hair. So that's going to be right over left, and then left over right, and back and forth all the way to the end. If you want to, you can even add in some of those gray seed beads. You could add a few in here just to make it a little more decorative. The 3 wire colors that I'm using today are tanzanite, garnet, and pink tourmaline. And this is what they look like. Now you could definitely do all one color if you wanted to braid one color. If you do silver or gold, that can look fantastic, very elegant. If you chose just the tanzanite, I think that would be really lovely because there is so much pink going on down here. But this is nice, I think, because we have three pretty different colors happening down at the bottom, and I'm hoping that this wire coming up the back is going to sort of pull it all together. Now, if your video freezes, you just want to back out of the video and open it up again fresh. Sometimes you even need to start your browser over. That's usually a connection error, on your end. It'll actually go down on my end if it's a problem on my end. Yeah, it's nice if you have one of those macrame boards. It's just really handy because it'll just hold it in place. Makes life just a little bit easier. It's fun to see how the colors can work together because it's sort of like paint. What it would look like if it was just tanzanite is going to look totally different than what it would look like if it was just garnet or pink tourmaline. And having all three together is going to look just totally different, which is pretty cool. There isn't a trio pack of these, but there should be. It's a really nice color combo. I'm really loving it. Here, I should switch so you can see it a little bit better on the spools. I'll wrap up my tanzanite spool. There's the pink tourmaline and the tanzanite, and let me do the garnet real fast and we can kind of see them as a mixture. Once you have a bunch of different colors, it's fun because you can kind of mix and match those colors together. Kind of easier to see them that way. Got a seed bead or a little silver bead. Yeah, I think that would be nice. You could add crystals, like a little tiny 3mm crystal would be lovely, just to add a little bit of sparkle. You can do all sorts of stuff when you're braiding the soft flex coming off the sides, and it'll look really pretty. So I'm just doing a quick measurement. That's about right for my neck. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish off here. So I'm gonna trim just a little bit. Let me grab my bead stoppers. Because we all know what fumble fingers I am when I'm trying to do too many things at once. Let's do that. And then we will trim off these extra wires to use later. And this time I think I'm just going to use a big crimp and a mighty crimping plier. Since it's the back end, I can even put a crimp cover on it if I want to, but I really don't need to. So these are my 3x3 crimps, and let me get a 2x2 so you can see the difference in size on these guys. So the one on the top is the 2x2, which is what we used in the magical crimpers. The one on the bottom is a 3x3, which is going to fit quite a bit more wire inside of it. So it's a great fit if you're doing a multi-strand design or finishing a braid or a kumihimo, any of those types of designs that use a lot of wire. If you knit with 3 colors, then I'd usually use the 3x3. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take all 3 wires and string my crimp tube onto them. And then I'm going to pick my clasp. So we can do the heart clasp or we can do the toggle clasp. What do you guys think? would be a better fit. I don't have a formula for how much wire would be used when braiding, but that would be very handy, wouldn't it? I think we should do that. That makes a lot of sense. Even with the bead stoppers, I've managed to drop beads when I remove the stopper. Yeah, I totally get that, Rochelle. Okay, so we have one for the heart. Anybody else have a thought? Okay, looks like the heart, that's kind of what I was leaning towards too. The heart is the way we'll go. Okay, so we're gonna take all wires. Now you can do this two ways. You can do all 3 wires, or you can do just 1 wire. It only takes 1 wire to attach to the clasp. I'm gonna send all 3 wires back through, but by all means, you could just pick 1 wire like the pink tourmaline that we used at the bottom and have just that showing here at the top. I like to go through, when I'm doing multiples, I try to be careful about how I pass it back through, just so that they line up nicely. And you'll kind of see what I mean as I get going here. So I can see where the pink tourmaline's coming out, and I can see where this garnet is coming out. And I want them to line up side by side around my clasp. Just because, and you don't have to, it's just because to me, it looks a little bit nicer. And the garnet is actually falling right in between these two. So I'm gonna try to push them apart and send my wire kind of down the center there. We'll see if that works. So that they all kind of line up nicely on the clasp, because that's what you're gonna see when you look at it. Does it look nice? Does it look good? It looks good to me. Okay, so now I'm going to do my mighty crimping pliers, which are these guys here, and you can see on this hole they have a little tooth, and on this hole it's a rounder. We're gonna use the tooth first to compress the crimp tube. And then we're gonna turn it and see what that did to it. This is again a 3x3 soft flex crimp tube. We're gonna turn it on its side in the rounder, and we will compress again. And then just like with the magicals, I like to go around and around that crimp tube like 5 or 6 times, tightening it down, kind of hardening that metal, and cinching it into the nylon coating of the wire. Especially when you've got multiple strands in there, you want to make sure you're really cinched down. And then I can go ahead and cut off my extra wires here. And there we go. Yeah, you could totally do an extender chain on this with this guy. Definitely. You could have it just hang off the back. Wonder if this would attach onto here. Oh yeah, look at that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Perfect. We attach to the other side, then you can do it either way. Look at you. Thank you for that help. Who was that? Carolyn? Thank you. Carrie says, crimping so much doesn't cause it to break apart. Not if you have a good quality crimp tube. That is really, really important. If you have a good quality crimp tube, it can handle that going around and round circles. Also, with these guys, you're not going to use a ton of force. It's like you're molding the crimp. You're not crushing it. So it's not like you're trying to close a jar as tight as you can. It's more like you're just gently compressing to make it into the shape you want. And I think that's very important. And that's true with the crimping pliers that are like this in the micro and the regular as well. You don't use very much of force with these particular pliers. Okay, so I did one whole side here. I'm gonna go ahead and do that second side off the live show, and I think we'll make a quick pair of earrings before I go. And I will post a picture of this in our Facebook group, which you can join on our Facebook page. And that's a great place to get inspiration from lots of people using our Softlex beading wire products and going to our live sales and doing our kits. That's where they're posting their pictures of their designs. And many of you that are here are in that group. And it's been so much fun to see what everybody makes with what they buy from us. So that is where I'll post a picture of the finished design so you can check it out there. But real quick, let's make a cute little pair of earrings because we've got these adorable earring findings. And again, all the beads and the findings and chain and things that I'm using today are from www.eclecticabeads.com. They're not only online, but you can also find them at the Galleria West Shopping Center in Brookfield, Wisconsin. It's a fantastic, huge store and a great place to go take classes, to have studio time, parties, all sorts of cool stuff going on there in Brookfield. So check them out. We'll make a quick pair of earrings. I really like this combination here. So I wouldn't mind making a pair that kind of matches that, but with the garnet maybe. So that's such a pretty color of beading wire. Let's do a quick earring here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attach at the top here to my earring finding. I'm using just one wire this time, so I'm going to use a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube onto my garnet medium 019 Softlex. I'm going to attach it to my flower loop right here at the bottom, built into the earring, and then go back into my crimp tube. And I'll go ahead and crimp that with the magical crimpers. Oops, those are cutters. Wrong pair. Let's get the right pair. There we go. So I have my wires side by side. We've gone over crimping twice now, so I think we're pretty good on crimping. But for anyone new that's just joined us, I'm centering my crimp tube. And I've got my little square, and now I'm going to turn it on its side in the same hole and compress again. So now I'm compressing in the four corners, and I will just go around and around and around. Oh, I'm so glad. Rochelle says she's really enjoying the VIB group. So all of you out there that haven't joined, make sure you join because we are offering special things to the group before others. Like when we have a really big limited promotion, like a kit, we offer it to the Facebook group first. And same with when we did our $10 free credit offer, we offered that to the Facebook group first. So make sure you're in that group so you can get all those fun promotional things too. Okay, so I'm just gonna do quick and easy. Sometimes you just want to do a quick and easy, fun looking earring. I'm just in love with this particular bead here, and I hope that you guys can see it well enough to be as in love with it as I am. It's so pretty. And I'm just stringing the same beads that we did in the necklace. This will be a cute little matching earring. And then I can just finish it off here at the bottom with another crimp. I've got my 2x2 millimeter crimp tube, and I am going to string back inside the tube, and then I want to kind of pull this close. Now, you could hang something here at the bottom if you wanted to, like one of those adorable leaves or, you know, whatever you want to hang down here. You could totally do that. Or you can do what I'm going to do, which is just come up here and crimp. Oops, straighten out my wires a little bit. And oftentimes what I'll do when I'm doing sort of a tighter fit, like these don't really need to be really flexible in this particular case. Did you see that? I just tug. I get my crimp tube in the center, but don't compress. So it's still kind of loose. And I just tug a little bit, and that will tighten it right next to those beads. And then I can compress. And then I'll go around it. The only thing to always consider when you're doing this kind of design is how big is the hole in that bead, and is it going to slide over this 2x2 crimp tube? And in this case it won't, but you can always just slide in like a little seed bead there that'll stop it from sliding over the crimp tube. And then I'm just going to trim off both bottom wires here. And then I've got a really fun, easy, cute earring that I can wear with the necklace that we just made. So we got to use all sorts of really cool things from eclecticabeads.com today. They sent findings and chain and lots of different kinds of vintage glass and vintage crystal. I'm gonna flip you guys up. So many good things. So I want you to go to their website. It's eclecticabeads.com. I can see all my summer frizz happening here. eclecticabeads.com. Check them out. Look through their website. They have tons and tons of different products there. And if you happen to live in Wisconsin, you should go into their shop and get to know them, because you're going to learn a ton from Irina and Tony. So thank you so much at Eclectica Beads for sending me this box today. And I'm glad that I got to talk a little bit about your amazing business. I know so many great companies in this business after 19 years with Softflex. It is my joy to share so many of them with all of you. So I have a couple live shows coming up that I wanted to remind you guys about. We've got a live design challenge next Wednesday for the Santorini Dreams kit. So I'm looking forward to that, because I know everybody's really excited about that kit, and some of you have already started making stuff, which is awesome. We have a live design challenge July 3rd with Jessie James Beads, who has started a new subscription box, and Sarah James added me to a 3-month subscription. So we'll be doing one of those in July, and what's after July? August and September. But we'll kick it off July 3rd, right before the July 4th holiday. And then last but not least, on Wednesday, July 11th, I will be doing the next Softflex live sale. And I helped pull all of your beautiful orders yesterday morning with James, because Rosa was on vacation. And you guys got some really awesome stuff in this last sale last week. And you should be hearing from James shortly with a picture of your design and your total that'll be due. And then we'll start doing the PayPal charges on Thursday when, you know, the deadline's over for you to make any changes. So I think you're going to love those of you that shopped last week. We had 45 orders, which I think is one of our highest live sales. You're going to love what you're getting for sure. So love to see all of you guys this week. Go check out eclecticabeads.com, and I will see you all here again next Wednesday, and we're going to have a great time with the Santorini kit, and we'll have the brand new kit available. Talk to you guys all later. Have a great day. Bye, guys.